Good morning. Oh geez, I never hit transition. Anyway, maybe I need to rearrange this whole thing so that the preview window is bigger. I've just got so much stuff going on. Okay. And actually, this could put an error message a little behind the camera, couldn't it? All right. So there's I might need to start keeping a list on this thing. I updated the cache. There didn't seem to be any. Yeah, still 259. No new packages published since yesterday. So I think I want to do some minimal, like getting my social links on there and stuff. So it's something I could sort of at least publish as a work in process. Do a little bit of basic style cleanup, like get rid of the dots, and I keep thinking I want to try and line these things up. And I might have to do a table for this section to get all the numbers to line up. Yeah, otherwise keeping the association between rows and columns would be... I don't know how to do that in CSS with the potential... Well, ideally we don't want things to ever over to wrap. So you could kind of keep height together, but still. So... I know I can start with stuff I've done elsewhere. What would be a good basis? Possibly something like one of these. This has... Yeah, there's which GitHub. So we have this directory as the project reference. Although I might just go grab stuff from, it would be the index. With our SVG. And then the view probably has like a footer. Display footer. Which we might tweak a little bit. Oh, and then there is going to be an icon and some extra CSS. That's kind of related directly to the package name stuff. Oh, and then I'm going to need a bunch of SVG things. Which is kind of annoying. And there is going to be svg.icon. The footer stuff is a little bit more specific. And I think I was doing this in a dark color scheme. Was it scheduled for videos in that? I think I was actually doing some light and dark stuff. Yeah, so we got svg.icon. Wherever. And then for the light theme, so row. Oh, we did a column with rows. Just the main body. So we actually have to add a div class row here to contain that. So we can have a header class row. Oops. Div class row. No, okay. Display footer. Now, display footer, was not using this full system. So you also have to be a class row. And let's see what the compiler thinks of that. Yeah, that has to be installed. Actually, they might want a separate window for source control as well as Elm package install. Is it just Elm SVG? Yes. Oh. That's right, they don't have the subprograms anymore. Okay, the icons. Oh, no, the icons should be in the HTML. In the body. Oh. Elm takes over in a different way now, apparently. It, like, actually replaces the body. So I guess we try this in the head. Documents, Elm package, update, public. Public. What? Settings. Disable cache while DevTools is open. Oh. Okay. Let's try restarting our server. Pardon me. I'm confused. Package update, package update, reactor. Public index.html. Zero known packages. What? Okay, well, it still didn't reload the HTML. What? Failed. Okay, well, that's interesting. What? I reloaded this since updating the file. All right, new tab time. Do we have to restart the entire browser to update a file? Reload without cache. Control F5. All right, maybe my editor is lying to me? Public index. No, there's gobbledygook here. All right, so we're going through a server. What? Oh, document overwrites the title. Okay, so that's believable. Does it overwrite the entire head? Does it remove anything it doesn't like from the head? Like scripts are okay, but SVGs aren't? Blarg foo equals bar blarg. Cool, that's the local file. Yeah, so it stops parsing the body What? Does that mean I lost my ports as well? What do ports do? Ports. It's YouTube. Well, it's still focused it if I loaded it. No, I still got a port. Even though the script is nowhere in here. All right, so what kind of Elm thing are we using here? It is a browser.document. I never did look at this morning. My internet was down. Nothing that looks relevant. They're gonna want an example, aren't they? That's GitHub. How about Elm Live Editor? Maybe it'll have a link to the actual app. There we go. Okay, so let's HTML. This is a browser.sandbox. I am doing a browser.document because I needed subscriptions. The way this is organized, we want subscriptions equals sub.none. However, that means our view has to do something else. Our view has to return. So here's, we could do very much the same thing. I don't think we need an HTML map though, because we're not doing a whole sub-message thing. HTML overwrite test. And then you are going to actually be document. It's a record of type. Update view, body. Wait, document? Oh. Yeah, we don't have a tagger. Oh wait, Elm Upkidge update. View.document tagger. Okay. Init view update subscriptions. Oh, subscriptions takes a model. Oh, it's that browser.document. Oh, and the init takes flags. Okay. Init equals initial model. Oh, that doesn't work anymore. Okay, flags. Oh, model command message. Okay, model command message. I guess the color coding here is nice. Message model, update. I never even use Sandbox anymore, so I don't even think about these things. Oh, and then you need a type annotation that matches. Yep, it is looking specifically for message. All right, now we got something that works. So let's take this. We should just be able to slap a close SVG on there. Why are you specifically showing up? This might get a little weird. Yeah, because it's document. Yeah, it doesn't show up. I guess it's possible that I missed something copying stuff around, in which case we can go back to work, demo, SVG. I mean, they put it inside the body. But I mean, the body is the kind of thing I kind of expect to get overwritten. Actually, that is something I can test. Body. Okay, yes, the body gets just completely blown away. It's also touching the head, and I guess it's rewriting the entire document. And then, well, it actually takes a lot of junk to use this. Iframe document. There's probably like a learn how to add additional HTML content in 0.19. Additional content to the HTML body or head without Elm content would be added without disturbing the content I had placed in the HTML file. In content, seems that Elm is it seems that Elm browser.document is overwriting not only the HTML body, but also the head and the rest of the document. How can I include HTML content, or do I have to include it as a literal string placed via, or do I have to work around with something like a giant string in the Elm code? I guess I would have to save this. Oh. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of script and style things in here. Interesting. Oh, wait. There's a defs there. Did I? No, my actual document has the closed defs. But that explains that red thing there. Script, style, script. Ellie, I placed SVG definition in the header. If you inspect the output, it has been removed. Well, okay. Seems that we are unable to actually. Well, we can add links, just can't have icons on them. So this is completely stuck for now. Which is annoying as heck. Because I've got like, I'm going to have to, I want to put a, I have to remove like a ton of stuff from here to undo that. I mean, I guess we could change what icon means. And do like span class. Oh. Silly priorities. That's why I hate priorities. So the colors end up. Oh. Arr? This is the color from the light theme? I clearly copied the wrong colors. That does look a very light color. Why? I may have to revisit that. That seems to make no sense. Yeah, those all look like very light colors. So I guess light means light text on a dark background? Did I just get my light and dark tags backwards? Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, those do not work well as icons. Text name. And of course, those are actually part of the link, so they kind of look terrible. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to leave this out for the time being, I think. All right, get status, get add, work, get stash, save. It's a stash or a branch. I guess it's more of a stash because it's like half work. Social links icon. Social links SVG removed. All right. So I guess we have to turn our attention back to other problems. So I was thinking of turning this into a table so it could line up the numbers. Because you get, if anything gets into double digits, it's not going to line up. Just putting values there. I might be able to do it by just using fixed width on everything. Or at least for the number sections, allow for 2 digits-ish. I've already got this background going. I don't know if I would... Yeah, I'd have to make that wider as well. And it can be viewed as a table. It's not entirely semantically wrong. So this is the summary. But we've got our top level thing here. So you're going to become a table. You're going to become a table row. And then we have to add all the little TDs. table will take care of that. Take care of that. I might want to apply classes to the table definitions later. So I can't just map TD over the list. And now we want to reorder things because those will be easier to read next to the name. I think I might want to swap them as well. So that actually already does a bit better job of highlighting the ones that are available to be updated. And then the details. Yeah, because this is... Putting it up front would work better for these, but then these don't even have that button. This is something where I kind of want to do an icon too. All right, a simple change. It's actually working kind of okay as is. Table for summary. Oh. But it seems that our detail needs to be a little bit wider. Package detail. Really, is Elm WebSocket? That doesn't even seem like it's be one of the larger ones. And yet it is. Oh, because it's a missing package that's renamed from a missing package. Oh yeah, an Elm Explorations test. Pardon? Oh, but then I did a 50% split. But that's not a 50% split. That is 2030 would be a 40-60 split. Okay, seems to be a little bit better behaved. Tweak column split to allow for view buttons. And those will actually get smaller if we can ever get icons worked out. So how do we make this? The table helped a bit. It's at least serviceable. This is still kind of meh. That's probably a bit more typical, but I don't want to just remove the dots. I mean, it's kind of rows, but it could still maybe use a little bit of organization. I could probably do without the indent, which might mean doing without the dots. Package summary. Found missing old name, project name found. I've got a tag on this, right? Yeah, package detail. And package detail is the div containing a div, which contains a UL. So now it's a question of how they do it. No, that's not it. UL. WebKit margin before. Oh, we can't touch that. It's user agent. No, that's actually not it. So maybe it's actually on the LI? Maybe. Hmm. So is that padding? Yeah, okay, that is padding. Hmm. I'm trying to make a thing to help me track updates my dependencies. But mostly I expect to be doing styling stuff today. Try and clean it up a little bit. There is actually one other feature I kind of want to do that involves about that. Okay. So uncertain about the dots. They sort of serve a purpose. Mm, it has a very nice update model. You've got a compiler for static catching of errors at compile time, which means you pretty much never get runtime errors. It's very opinionated and aiming to keep things at the language as simple as possible, which sometimes leaves you without fancy features. Yeah. So it's like that, but much, much stricter. It's actually extremely strict about interoperability with JavaScript, with the eventual goal of being able to make the language itself not necessarily just a JavaScript language. Yeah, perhaps a little bit more like that. So yeah, there's a very, very strict interoperability. Yeah. And one of the things I found out today is that apparently the new version of Elm is completely rewriting the entire DOM and throwing away bits of things that you put in there. So my previous method for doing SVG icons is completely out the window. Browser. And stuff like in the body, browser.element. Probably convert the to Elm code. Div ID embedded content. Oh. Yes, that's what one of the things he's talking about now is using the element tag. To just make Elm a piece of it. Or you can use the other libraries to make custom elements, and then in your Elm code, you just define node custom element, and then let the JavaScript handle that piece of it. Yeah, working out type signatures for abstraction can be extremely difficult, and it doesn't do certain kinds of abstractions very well. Okay. So either I had not tried head before, or tried it and it did not work. Hmm. That actually makes me wonder. So, how do HTML custom elements work? Could I just like have the text from my SVG in a custom element and then include it? Would that be a really easy thing to make? Of course, that is something that's just a template. Trivial to do. Oh. Word count element like this. Right, element functionality here. So it appears that this is not something where you can do a template easily. That's where you start to get into the actual libraries. Yeah. Then again, Shadow DOM might not be a good place to define SVG because it would kind of might get kind of sandboxed to itself. Yeah, it's not something we're going to define a custom element that's just a template for some text, it looks like. It would have to be a bunch of JavaScript stuff. At which point it's not really going to be all that different from doing it in Elm. Okay, so we're a couple steps back. The project on the whole, which I didn't really put in the title because it's not the main thing I'm doing, is there's a new version of Elm which, so all of my projects need to wait for their dependencies to be updated, which is more or less depending on the project. So I've got that mostly working. There's actually one thing I kind of want to work out when it saves versus when it doesn't save, and have a shortcut for doing links to go load up some remote project. You know, kind of social sharing of, hey, this thing still needs the update. One of the things I'm working on today is styling. I wanted to add like some social links to like the GitHub project and stuff, but I ran into part with the icons. So, which got us into. I must have closed the window that had. Oh nope, it's all Elm stuff. Yeah, so I did get an answer. I got some suggestions about how to deal with that. Because Elm is now completely overriding the body, and the body's the only place you can put SVG for the icons. So it's kind of between. I've been watching this issue and just trying to think about how I want to arrange this style so it doesn't look quite so ugly. And now that we've got an answer on this, it's. Well, okay, I made one adjustment here. I probably want to make more. But it looks like. Yeah. Unindent detail dependency list. Yeah, I think that's going to be way too heavyweight for what I'm looking for. I was looking at that specifically to do that, but I think though just the entire process is going to be way too much for just wanting to stick an SVG element in there. So much as we do with our style, we're going to have to do git stash pop, see if that created conflicts. It doesn't seem to have created any immediate conflicts. So index. So the suggestions are, well, we could like put it in a template and use some JavaScript to stick it in there. It's the Flickr icon in the body and use browser element, but I need subscriptions, so I can't do browser element, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I did that for a reason. Hey, Stormy. I am trying to make a thing that will help me keep track of when the dependencies of my projects for the new upgrade of Elm are available, which has gotten me into the whole styling, and I'm trying to kind of style and clean it up a bit. And one of the things I want to do is add social links to the GitHub and, you know, made live on Twitch and all that stuff. But the way I've been doing icons doesn't work in Elm 19, so I've gotten some feedback about that. So they're doing browser elements, so I wanted to look at elmlang.org docs guide. What is in, actually the docs for browser element will kind of tell me what's in it too. Commands and subscriptions. So Sandbox won't do it. Element. Oh, Element has commands and subscriptions. So why did I go for document? Because I didn't want to identify a particular element? It's like, well, it's going to be the entire thing. Did I end up doing flags? Oh, I think I did. Yep. I didn't want to deal with the whole... Oh, because dealing with window location required me to go all the way up to browser.application. So I started passing through flags. Well... Okay, and it does flags, or element does flags. So, what is the HTML that goes with this? You have to pass a node, query selector main, body main. It feels like a little bit of a hack. But then, including my SVG stuff in there, I guess the question is if I ever want to go up to application, then I'm not going to be able to do this. Because it's still going to be completely taking it over. So it's a little bit more upgradable. So we'll probably convert the icon definitions to Elm code. Embedded content. Oh. You can do is set your body up like this. So either we've got doing JavaScript stuff to insert the SVG definitions. So including the text works for style because it's basically just text. This is SVG tag, so I'd either have to do a conversion of this to Elm, which would be a pain in the butt, and then I'd have to redo it for every time I added a new icon. Which starts to make the JavaScript look a lot better. Well, the view box for these is mostly the same. Oh, this is not necessarily just one path either. If it was just one path, might not be too bad to make up a little icon Elm for it. That's what I'm doing to place the actual icons. The problem is that I can't get the SVG defs into the document easily. So that part actually is in Elm. So if we go back to actually doing this, that's exactly what we're doing in Elm speak. Yeah, so the problem here is, let's get this back. It is currently in no man's land, where the browser apparently doesn't allow it to be. So if we have, I mean, this is also was a test I was doing. So if the SVG is in the body, we have no icons here. And in fact, you can see that the body is nothing except the Elm bit. So doing this particular form of Elm application completely replaces the body and throws out any content the user may have placed there. So our options right now are to transliterate the SVG into Elm code, or to do like this, where we provide some dummy div where we can have JavaScript come back and replace it, which is dodgy because Elm is kind of owning this thing. We'd probably have to turn this into some sort of like lazy of nothing. Well, it does have an ID. That probably helps. Keep it be the same content. So as long as Elm has no reason to re-render that after the fact. So that just feels really dirty to have to go back and insert stuff in JavaScript. But the alternate is to transliterate every single icon that I ever want to put into one of these pages into Elm code. So I mean, the SVG you do once, defs you do once. This is all relatively straightforward. Viewbox is usually the same. I mean, as long as I'm not doing a large number of icons, it's not too terrible. I doubt it, but we can look. No, not HTTP, HTML. I wonder if there's like a literal HTML. I don't think so. Plain text, node. That's actually surprising. Although I usually... But HTML Extra has not been ported to Elm 19. So what is the magic invocation for that? Let's just go to HTML. Oh, I would have to know who published HTML Extra. Community by chance? Okay. So the thing I'm wondering about... Attributes. Events. Okay, it doesn't appear to involve native code. Static HTML. Static HTML.text. Static attributes. Value is int, role, meter, media. Okay, now I'm just curious if they did that. String property. Is string property property name json.string string? So property is probably, yeah, HTML.attributes. So does that still exist in here? Property. So there's issues if it can't actually do code, or in JSON.encode, encode.string. Huh. So I would have never considered inner HTML as a property you could put on an element. Okay. So we do icon def. This is pretty much just going to be static. So this is going to have to be just any old thing. With a, actually we have all of attributes, which might be too much. Property, inner HTML, but we are going to have to bring in JSON.encode now. And we are going to need, you know, I had the CSS up here, but I just really don't want this in my face. Icon text is a big string. Oops. Wow. Good thing I can do that. And then somewhere in our view, icon def. Okay, I got something wrong there. Inner HTML. Inner HTML. So it compiled. but there's no property there. All right, is there any other properties they defined? Oh, it's not property. Oh, it's string property. What was string property? Do you have to oh, that's just doing the JSON.string. Well, what's a string property that actually exists if they're checking it? Oh, that's an atch. Class name? No. Oh. Yeah, they also define class. No. Ah. Still. All right, let's try, just to see if this is the right div I'm looking at here. What? What? I put any other attribute on it, and suddenly we get the entire thing. I don't think I can compile. What? Okay. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, because now it's class name. So actually, it was getting class name right. So they are specifically blocking inner HTML, or they have some sort of whitelist. Now, this might actually not be HTML. This might be virtual DOM. I'm not dropping any frames that I can see. I don't think it's a network problem. Is GitHub under denial of service attack or something? Well. Oh, okay. So we might not be able to investigate where this is getting blocked just now. Although if I could figure out... Okay. Oh, it's attribute now. Okay. Because they had a string property in the other one. Oh. Second okay, so what does the second argument to attribute need to be? String. Oh, attributes can only be strings. Well, that simplifies things. Okay, so we have div inner HTML equals. There was no sign that works, though. So, I mean, oh, but wait, no. But it got lowercased. That's decidedly weird. Virtual DOM.property. Okay, well. So, Elm install Elm virtual DOM. Package. Ah, okay. I was not paying close enough attention to where they were importing that from. And this is back to encode. So we're going to need encode. Oh, yeah, it takes a value, in fact. Still seems to be unimpressed. In fact, well, there's also an attribute. Did it compile already? Okay, so we're back to the inner HTML equals, but it doesn't seem to have translated to content. So it's like, we can get this in. But it doesn't actually get acted on. Well, no, actually, we don't want that. We want div. So there's all the attribute stuff. Okay, so yeah, if you can get yeah, we could try that. Okay, that doesn't do it. Property. That doesn't even appear on the element. So I don't know if there's... Yeah, that does not seem to be an attribute that actually works. Yeah, so maybe something in the way that the old Elm worked. Or maybe if you're doing something that changes this property, then the virtual DOM engine would update just the property. Which would become very complicated to test. Because you have to set up some condition where at a certain time it updated an inner HTML property, which would kind of cause a write to the DOM element, rather than literally encoding it as that thing. O.19. I don't think they... Well, I don't know if it does if it has a self-update method. I wasn't aware of any minor updates. And... Oh, no, I think that's a long way away. And GitHub is still struggling, maybe? That's a gist. So it's still pointing at 0.19.0, so I don't think there's been an update. Let's see. Is there an HTML to Elm converter? That's EML. No, that was the wrong link. EML. Oh my gosh. Well, I thought I had seen something like this, but man. And it's on GitHub. We'll probably convert the icon to Elm code. Yeah. This is JavaScript. Local server. Build the dist. Oh, for a particular site. Yeah, I'm trying to make a tool to handle the updates, or to track which packages of mine need updates, or when the dependencies are ready for me to complete updates. And I've run into a problem. I usually do these social links on here to like the GitHub and Twitch and stuff. And Elm 019 doesn't allow you to have custom HTML in the body anymore. Aha. Which is in our GitHub link. Okay, this might work. But I think I've had trouble. Trying to do that without using the proper SVG names. So yeah. Well, that's basically what I did. He said convert it. They said, and which at which point I'd probably want to do just a well, at least, well, maybe for the small number of SVG attributes I need. But there's class, there is what else? Well, style would be only one. We've already got... No, that's like not that. Well, then you'd probably go out to port and have it insert the DOM. Maybe. Including an HTML parser in the program seems to be kind of extreme, though. Yeah, so this unfortunately does not really understand SVG. I mean, it might actually be a starting place just to go through. We could go through and replace some of these attributes with their appropriate values from the SVG library. Gets a little bit of a leg up on the formatting. This apparently did not copy. View. Exposing icon defs just for now. Oh, the auto indenter did not like that at all. Wow, that's terrible. Well, just, so you're in one. Wait, then what are you? Oh, you're the style stuff. And I thought I had heard that style changed, actually, so that could be a problem. So we expect that we're going to get... that we're going to have SVG, we're going to have... and really this is going to be an SVG file. So SVG, yeah, we've got node, SVG, yeah, we definitely got a path. So anywhere we get a node, just going to be SVG. Defs, I don't mind having that nested there. Pretty much, where are you? You're that one. I can't get a clear image on how this lines up. So that's actually back too far. Wait, does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. If only the auto editor could handle this. Okay, so that's the source code we were going to look at at some point. Jeez. I mean, they're trying to prevent side effects, and that prevents side effects, but... and I think the extra package actually said this is a security issue. But this really is a lot of work. Although I could do the JavaScript hack, but then I have to worry about the timing of that, and... all that stuff. So, symbol... we've got attributes. Really? Do I have view title? Oh, yep, symbol, title, path. So Elm19 came out. The packages depend, and this is a little bit different, but the basic idea is there. It's actually dependencies on some ranges of these things, which they've redone to be exact versions. So I have a whole bunch of projects that depend on these things, but not all of the packages are updated to Elm 19 yet, and I have a whole bunch of things that I need to know when I can update them. One of them is mine, which I actually need to update, but I was kind of wanted to get this done first. So I wanted to add my social links to this. And usually I do icons on there, such as this. But the way that Elm 19 works, the way that I did that does not work. By just being able to include this SVG blob in the HTML, because the only place it's legal to put this gets completely nuked by Elm. So the two ways that appear to be possible to do this are to write some JavaScript that goes in and manipulates the DOM after the fact to insert it, or to convert it all to Elm code, which is kind of a slightly long and obnoxious process. No, you're fine. Node title, no attributes text. Node path, which has one attribute of that. It feels fragile and hacky, basically. I have to worry about time. I have to worry about Elm possibly rewriting the DOM and destroying it. I think the ID thing makes that mostly probably work. Node title, text, node path. All the nodes. And we might just have to do this. That's what I do for styles. We tried, and that does not work for SVG because it has to be parsed as DOM. Actually, do they give us the D attribute? Containers, text, fonts, filters. Ew, maybe they don't. Well, that would be an attribute. Yep. And then it has no proper content. And you are, wait, your symbol. That's a different way. I think the Icon Moon stuff has images, but these are pretty simple things, so I guess I just always tended towards that method of doing icons. Probably doesn't matter as much, as there's only one instance. I don't know if the demo files... It might be that there is... All right, I'm actually going to do this just in case I do some sort of login on this. Oop. No, you're not the tab I wanted. Okay, we have a selection of 3. SVG. Yeah, they do SVGs and fonts. I'm guessing... Well, I'll have to look at it. It might be less code for the font. But I've never really liked that method. Oh, actually, this is SVG PNG. Elm event system. Huh. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, there are PNGs. Oh. But PNGs are only in one color. So you can't recolor those. Or I would have to go in and image edit them to properly color them. Which I'm pretty much doing in one color anyway. So for this purpose, it would work. But not in cases when I would have to make separate images if I want to do separate color icons in other cases. I think I was originally thinking I would only need to, once I got this working, not symbol, node, path, attribute, node title, text. Title text, no, well, none of these are nodes. This was title, this is path, this is viewbox, this is D. Wait, is that right? Path. It's going to kind of be a big long line anyway. You're that, right? And then you are... And then straightening out the indent is going to be a pain in the butt. So def symbol. So symbol attributes, symbol contents, symbol attributes, symbol contents. This symbol has contents. And then these go down. Actually, I was kind of trying to organize these earlier. I can get these from other projects if I need to. Why? Did I open up? No. Why would you do that in public? I mean, root directory I can understand, but why public? Oh. Oh, I didn't clean up all my attribute and other junk. Ooh, how did you put that? Uh, 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 Actually, XLLNS. Wait, XMLNS. What? Smash is alive? What? Alright, so I guess we need some sort of attribute. This is attribute name, attribute type? What? Maybe I have to go back to like virtual DOM for this. Oh, okay. All right. Do I even have a version? What did we just do here? Okay, we've got version. But we appear to have to go back to virtual DOM. For these. All right, so you are an actual D. A node. Path. Oh, we brought in everything. And apparently there is both a path attribute and a path node. Well, we know what it is. So this is a svg.path. No, not really. I would have to do a lot of research to kind of probably get some principles for that. Once again, it is both. So bulk importing here didn't really help me much. Apparently there's a style tag. Maybe we'd be better off doing svg defs symbol title path and version style ID viewbox D. Text, that would be an attribute. Oh. List string, but style needs... They over-converted it. All right. Style. Oh, all right. So that works. It's still going to be a pain every time we add icons. Well, I kind of had a big blob I converted. Mostly it will just be updating text and path. And, I mean, I could maybe do some abstraction on this. Although, that simple case doesn't always work. But symbol... Okay, so I guess the icon and the text, icon and title, are duplicated. Then there's a body. View box is usually the same. And you got all this junk. So that was unreasonably painful. Maybe I could have done a template to told the text to insert it in here. Or maybe one of my projects should be a SVG icon converter that works like this one site, only it understands SVG. Yeah. As long as Elm conserves the ID node and doesn't mess with it, then that will probably work. I may have been biased by this guy saying, we'll do the conversion. This is just something else you can do. But being able to auto-convert the icon definitions would be handy when I get into bigger things. Like, might check had several icons. Most of them is just this set, and I can just kind of copy this around. Although I was actually thinking of adding maybe some sort of open or link icon to this. Yeah. Oh, Actually, I'd forgotten about this. Okay. Oh, well, or did it drop? No, I've got a kilobytes per second. Okay, so we seem to have recovered, although oh, wait. Okay, yeah, I've got a spinner going now instead of just being offline. Although it's still trying to load on my preview. Let's try pause, restart. There we go. Yeah, so that must be some echo of this morning's little internet interruption. I was off for like 2 hours. Or offline for like 2 hours. So I seem to remember... I can't actually have anything about this. Uh... Mm. Okay, there's a preferences panel. Well, apparently there are separate SVG files. Use element. That would mean you need a separate file reference for every one. Embedding in HTML, you will need to use SVG in order to support IE9 plus. That's why I didn't do that. Referencing it's IE9. It sends one HTTP request and cache all symbol definitions. Hosted on a web server to work. Yeah, so there were reasons I didn't like this either. Although I guess there was at least a polyfill for it. Which would be very similar to the kind of JavaScript hack we've been toying with ourselves. So everything's a hack, basically. I could do individual SVGs to keep them as SVGs. They might still be colorable in that case. We'd have to test that. Okay. I guess I liked the internal SVG as just being all one web request. All your assets are there. You're just referencing stuff and instancing it without having to, you know, check caches or any of those things, but it does turn them back into straight up assets that you're just referencing without having to do any language translation. Oh, yeah, Webpack is a whole other animal. That's probably not 0.19 compatible unless it's doing some conversion to Elm. Yeah, exactly, because I used to be able to just put this into the body, which I imagine is what that loader is doing as well. I mean, if it's doing the conversion to Elm without relying on the inner HTML trick or anything, but then I have to bring in Elm and pre-processing or Webpack and Node with all that pre-processing stuff. I basically don't like any of the options. I'm debating, do I want to deal with JavaScript hacks? Do I want to deal with conversion? Do I want to deal with copying individual asset files around and dealing with that extra overhead? Okay, so that already exists. So that's something I could return to later as a way to bulk import SVG icons. So maybe that would be a project for another day to try and get that little bit of pipeline working. So I'll have to figure out if that's Webpack only or if it's actually using some other package that does the translation. Hopefully it's not Webpack only, because that would be a lot of, well, maybe it's something I could make work in a little app for doing conversions. But the fact that somebody's already done the work to do the conversion makes having it as Elm code a little bit more practical. Uh-oh. Okay, well, there was definitely a blip there. Okay, so there is a library that just does it. Cool. So, oh wait, SVG loader. So that's a loader. Oh, is this? Where is? Oh, this is still Elm package. That is not going to be Elm 19. Just doesn't directly depend on. Yeah, so they actually look like they're generating native code there. Honestly. Yeah, this is native code. The Elm SVG parser, though. A string to an HTML message. This also has an Elm component. Oh, this is actually Elm. Elm SVG loader. Yeah, so that's what this thing is, I think. And this is actually... straight up, like, parsing it so that... so this is a direct reference. Yeah, so this is not available in 019 yet. Parse string to SVG. Oh, this is actually a straight up parser. Wow. But I guess, yeah, you do that to nodes and attributes and things. Yeah, but I mean, you could spin up a little Elm 18 thing to do a conversion, probably. So that might be a... you know, let me go over here for a moment and put that down as a future project. Or I could actually like fork this and make it Elm 19, possibly, maybe. Elm SVG icon conversion. And we will grab this and give ourselves a note. Yeah, so this is something you'd want to turn into something like this other... I've got too many tabs open. I swear I used to know a thing to move between tabs. So I don't actually need this up. We need package occasionally. There's been no further commentary on that. We didn't use that. We're done with you. That's HTML attributes. It's HTML extra. This is how HTML extra implemented things. That was an empty tab. HTML reference meh. This is a broken GitHub page. Virtual DOM we might need at the moment. It's their Elm. Yeah, like this. There's the virtual DOM thing that wasn't loading up. SVG reference. Don't need you right now. There's the Webpack loader. There's the old Elm documentation. That's the loader. And this is the package repository saying oh, interesting. They ported the depreciated package. Okay. Guess a lot of people depended on it. But that's actually one less dependency I have to worry about. Was that like actually... That's actually quite recent. Because it wasn't in my snapshot earlier. All right, so we think there'll be a way to convert SVG to Elm eventually. I can only imagine it's going to end up being more bytes of output code than it was in straight up HTML. So that is converting that thing into JavaScript code. The element's only going to be generated with what is ultimately JavaScript. We would need JavaScript to insert it there. We could reference it as SVG files. I don't know. I kind of don't like any of the options, really. Yeah, I mean, like, native code for applications was a nice escape hatch until you really hit a wall. I guess the point of avoiding inner HTML is that they want everything in code so that it better translates to other environments. Although translating stuff to SVG is never gonna really matter anywhere, unless you converted those functions to like library calls that did similar path drawing stuff in some weird way. Well, I mean, the way you do it is this with JavaScript, I think. Or you directly reference SVG files, or you add the polyfill shim and do the external reference. They're both extra asset files you have to keep around. Which might be nicer in the sense that it is sort of a standard thing that you could do on any HTML page, and it's just kind of a way to do it. So, demo external. We go into demo external. Symbol defs and SVG use. So if we do it that way, we need to do something like this. Oh, and I don't think we're using virtual DOM anymore. So that could be moved out. But I just erased my thing. Demo external. External. Alright, so class icon use xlink href. Now, can I see this is a thing I can actually do. The XML NS I didn't just had to do. Icon name. So that is just symboldefs.svg/icon name. Use Wait, what span are they closing here? Oh. And oh, no, it's putting the icon before the thing referencing it. And then demo external. Index. They were putting it in the body, which you can't really do. But this is still a script. Oh. Wait. Oh, because we still have, yeah. Still have that in there. So that works. It probably works in most browsers. It's annoying to have the extra request in there. But it requires a lot less fiddly stuff. Actually, that probably won't work. Because I have the folder protection on. Wrong project. All right, do we have any other leftover junk here? No, we need. Okay, so we've got all this. We've got public. Oh, we need to uninstall virtual DOM. Install. Okay, so apparently my only option here is to go directly into the JSON and move virtual DOM to an indirect dependency and fix up all this stuff. Okay, that all seems to be fine. Virtual. Oh, we did have to bring an SVG. And something affected new lines. Meh. Oh, we've still got a blarg in there. Index. When we were just kind of testing for stuff. Okay. There we go. I did not fully remove that. I moved that. Oh, I don't need encode, I don't think. Yeah. Got our icons with colors. Need the SVG stuff. Got a footer with icon. Get ed. All the public stuff. All the reference. I don't have a README yet to include that. Tracks, package, dependencies to see when tracks, packages, so you can see when all dependencies. Nope. Dependencies have been updated for 0.19. I'm not going to get too detailed yet, but I want to grab, I should have all of this, and of course I close the other window. Pick almost any project. Usage. I don't know if I want to get into this yet. I probably need to do more documentation later, but that's something. And social icons. And as much as I need to do more work on this, it's still pretty ugly. That has kind of been the main thing we're focusing on. It's almost lunchtime. So I'm probably going to take that. It might be good enough to put out there in case anybody really needs it. So thanks for watching. Thanks to Sturmius, Leopard, Asaret Gaming, One Jellybean, Doug and Lick, Haskin TV, Did the Tacos, and Kirkusuni for hosting me. Let's see. Schedule is working today. What? Yeah, I get into a little bit of a routine there. So there's still some chaos here from before, but this is roughly when I have tended to stream in the past. And yeah, the mornings are still a bit off from catching up on all this stuff. But the bottom of each day is going to be more representative of recent history. Let me see if I have anything to recommend. I did that one yesterday. What about it? Ah, well, yeah, but I meant for people on, people specifically on Twitch to host right now. I've never even looked to see if YouTube has an equivalent to hosting. Well, let's see. We did that one yesterday. So how about this? Well, I don't have any videos to get a schedule on that. So actually, I'm not even sure how to pronounce this. It's Tijinta. Apparently, he's one of the guys who worked on the OBS audio mixer thing, and now he's doing like a actual hardware mixer focused on streaming. So he's been streaming all of that work. So it might be a little bit more hardware. I imagine there's some software that goes with it. But yeah, if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. And until next time.